Hello. Today we'll be working all 22, yeah, I have to recount, 22 Project Zomboid occupations from worst to best. Going through all 22 of these can be quite intimidating, so I'll try to narrow it down for you guys. So, let's start out with the worst. At number 22, Farmer. All this trait does is just give you +3 farming, which in my opinion isn't very useful. Farming just isn't a useful skill. It literally just allows you to see your crop status. Plus you can earn it yourself very easily by just harvesting crops. It at least gives you +2 starting points, but it's still not worth it in my opinion due to the farming skill just being too useless. Number 21, Electrician. Electrical, once again, just isn't a very helpful skill. I usually only level up to 1 to hotwire cars. The only good bonus to this trait is that it lets you operate generators without having to read a magazine. But the magazine is pretty easy to find. You need to have at least a few weeks to find it before the power goes out, making this bonus not very useful. And overall, this occupation, not very useful. Number 20, Metalworker. Metalworking can be a useful skill, but I don't find myself using it very much. Plus it's pretty easy to level up, as you can just metal cars. However, if you really like metalworking, XP boosts can get you levels faster, which can be very helpful. What really puts it this low is that it gives you -6 starting points. That's just crazy. At number 19, Chef. It gives you +3 cooking skill, which makes you cook better food, of course, and know all cooking recipes, plus some maintenance and shortblade. I may be kind of biased since I don't cook much in Project Zomboid though. Maintenance is nice to have, but it's just one level, and shortblade is probably my least favorite weapon type. To make matters worse, it gives you -4 starting points, which is just way too much in my opinion. But I mean, if you love cooking and shortblade, then I guess this occupation is all you. Number 18 and 17, Doctor and Nurse. Pretty much the same reason as the first two. All First Aid does give faster healing times, less wound impact, longer lasting bandages, and it lets you see the severity of wounds. It sounds like a lot, but I don't know, it's just not that helpful. At least you get +1 shortblade, or light-footed I guess. The game itself literally insults this occupation, saying doctors are not too useful in a world where a single scratch from a zombie can mean death. Ouch. Number 16, Fisherman. Out of all the boring +3 skill occupations, this one isn't too bad, giving you a non-useless skill. This occupation, of course, improves your fishing, while also making fishing rods repairable without having to read the magazine, and 1 extra point of foraging. I would say it's a bit overpriced for what it gives you at -2 starting points though. This is good for all you fishers out there, if you guys exist. Okay, now it's time to get into the good trait. What occupations, not traits? Oh my god. Okay, now it's time to get into the good occupations that I would consider taking myself. Starting with number 15, Burger Burger Flipper. Which is literally just chef, but with +2 cooking instead of +3. However, you get +2 starting points instead of -4 though. So I personally would much rather take this over chef. Number 14, Security Guard. I actually originally had this at number 7, but then I realized that the Night Owl trait really isn't that good. It only makes you recover tiredness quicker when sleeping, which, meh. The +2 sprinting and +1 light-footed can be nice if you want to be a fast yet sneaky boy though. At -2 starting points, this occupation can be pretty alright. At number 13, Construction Worker. Do you like Night 6? If so, this is the occupation for you. The main appeal of this trait is the whopping +3 short blunt and a little sprinkle of +1 carpentry. This can be a help starting out, but my problem is that short blunt just isn't that good and is outclassed by axe or long blunt. Luckily, it lets you buy with only -2 starting points, so it's not too bad. At number 12, Park Ranger. I see a lot of people who love this occupation, but I don't really get it. Main appeal is +2 foraging and +2 trapping, but like, foraging and trapping? Might just be me, but I pretty much never use foraging and trapping. The +1 axe and carpentry is nice, but you can get this and better with other occupations. Also the faster tree moving thing, which is, I guess it's cool. And it's pretty costly at -4 starting points, so I just don't really get it this trait. Oh, occupation! I just don't really get this occupation. I mean, it's not bad, I feel like I'm talking down on it too much. It's a solid occupation, don't get me wrong. At number 11, Carpenter. The occupation for base builders. This occupation gives you a very nice +3 carpentry, putting you only 1 level away from being able to make very useful things like water collectors and storage crates. Plus, you've of course got that 1.66 multiplier boost to carpentry, which makes it even easier to level it up, so you don't have to sit there and assemble furniture for as long, and a little bit of short blunt. What really places it this high is its super cheap cost. You get +2 starting points. Very nice. At number 10, Repairman. You mainly get +2 maintenance, which can be very helpful in preserving your weapons. Researching this occupation led me into a bit of a rabbit hole on if maintenance is even good. This is how maintenance works. Basically, there's a smaller chance of your weapon going down in durability when it's used. At level 10 maintenance, an axe will have a 1 out of 45 chance of losing durability instead of a 1 out of 35 chance. So on average, you'll get about 10 extra swings before your weapon goes down in durability. That's a 2.2% chance with a level 10 maintenance and 2.8% chance without any maintenance. So in conclusion, yes, maintenance is pretty good. This XP boost to maintenance is very helpful, keeping your weapons in pristine condition, plus 1 level of carpentry and 1 level of short blunt. It's a bit costly at -4 starting points though, but can be worth it. At number 9, mechanic. If you like cars, or more so crashing cars.
Oh my god! Oh god, you killed me! I'm dead!
This is the trait for you. You get a whopping +3 mechanics, and the amateur mechanics skill makes it so you can repair all parts and all cars in the game without having to read any magazines. What makes this occupation even better is that with the +3 mechanics, you only need 1 electrical to be able to hotwire your cars. Just disassemble a few radios and you're on your way, making this worth the -4 starting points. At number 8, engineer. Bombs. The main appeal of this trait are the fire bombs and pipe bombs, which are really fun and actually exclusive to engineer. But wait, there's more. +1 electrical, which is all you need, and a nice +1 carpentry. The only problem with this occupation is that the bombs really aren't too effective. This occupation should probably be much lower, but you know what? It's fun, okay? At number 7, fitness instructor. This trait gives you a whopping +3 fitness and +2 sprinting. You can be a fast boy for an extended period of time. Which, I mean, who wouldn't want that? Oh, and nutritionist, which is one of the treats of all time. The only caveat to this is that it starts you out at -6 starting points, making it one of the most expensive occupations in the game. And it doesn't give you an XP boost of fitness. But hey, start out stylishly with a tracksuit on. Number 6, fire officer. This is the sort of jack of all trades occupation, making it a nice occupation for new players. You get +1 axe, fitness, strength, and sprinting, which are all incredibly useful. You even spawn in with firefighter pants, giving you some protection starting out. And as a little bonus, you'll actually spawn in the fire station if you choose to spawn in Rosewood, which can be nice. Plus, 0 starting points. No sacrifices for this occupation. And now, the top 5. These are the best occupations that I would 100% recommend taking. Starting it out with number 5, lumberjack. If you love using axes, this is the occupation for you. It simply gives you +2 axe and a very nice +1 strength. The big bonus with this occupation is the axeman trait. You swing your axe 25% faster in both tree chopping and combat. It offers some faster forest walking and bonus damage to trees. What really seals the deal is that you get 0 starting points, which is really great, letting you pick a bunch of your own traits, making this a nice, friendly, and solid occupation. At number 4, we have burglar. This occupation starts out with the Sneakster Ultra Deluxe, +2 light-footed and +2 sneaking. You can be a true sneaky boy with this occupation. But then, out of nowhere, boom, +2 nimble. Nimble controls the speed at which you move in your combat stance, and oh boy is a high nimble level in multiplayer useful. It just makes combat way easier, and it's what made me almost put it above veteran. And to top it off, it comes up with the aptly named burglar trait. This lets you hotwire any car, letting you get transparency the moment you spawn in. All this combined makes the -6 starting points easily excusable, and a very strong occupation. At number 3, veteran. This gives you a nice +2 aiming and +2 reloading, which makes guns actually usable when you get them, and makes them easier to level up from the XP boost. The main selling point of this occupation is the desensitized trait, which makes it so you never get panicked in any situation, except for nightmares of course. And let's face it, panic sucks. In extreme panic, you do 30% less melee damage and 60% less gun damage, which is horrible for killing hordes. Although, do note that this trait cannot get rid of real life panic from jump scares. The main downside to this occupation is its massive -8 starting points, making it the most costly occupation in the game. Sensitize is very nice, but you actually become desensitized on your own after around a month. This means that if you're planning for long-term survival, you might be better off choosing a different, less costly occupation. But don't get me wrong, even with these downsides, veteran is a very, very good occupation, especially for short-term survival in multiplayer. At number 2, unemployed. That's right, one of the best occupations is no occupation. This occupation gives you nothing but 8 starting points, which is a very significant amount. This gives you the most freedom in creating your character, and allows you to optimize your character much more for what you really need. A simple but very good occupation. And at number 1, police officer. If you love guns, this is the occupation for you. It gives you a huge +3 aiming, along with +2 reloading, and what really puts it above veteran, +1 nimble, which includes its XP bonus. And as a tiny bonus, you actually spawn in a police station if you choose to spawn in Rosewood or West Point. So, with it being this good, you must start out with like -10 starting points, right? Nope, only -4, which is a deal, making it the best occupation in my opinion. So, that's it for this one. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Let me know in the comments. And oh my god, thank you for all the attention on the last video. I thought 300 views was a lot, but wow. As always, like and subscribe, and leave some feedback in the comments. I read all of them.
And according to my YouTube statistics, 99.9% of you are not subscribed, so please subscribe.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Just kidding, of course. Farmer is obviously the best occupation. I mean, farming is just so fun. I mean, this just renamed to Project Farmway at this point, since that's the best part of this game.